Yes, I'm seeing the smoke, and yes, it does concern me, but no, I haven't changed my mind. So I've been talking a lot in my last couple months worth of videos about this complete change that I'm making moving from California to Idaho. And if you've been watching the news at all lately, you know that there are wildfires burning all throughout the northern part of the states. And there's a lot of fires in Washington. There's been a lot of fires in Oregon. And Boise has just, Spokane, oh my gosh. I mean, it's just incredibly sad to see all of these forests and then moving into the homes and burning those. There's just been so much, terrible destruction that's taken place. And it has made a huge impact on the smoke as to where I'm moving in the next month or two. So this video is kind of a frank talk about some of the things that my husband and I have been thinking about, we've been talking about, and what we're moving forward with. So yes, the smoke is real. I mean, if you've been watching any of the, news on TV or newspapers or social media, you've been able to see firsthand the smoke that's been going on has just been utterly incredible. And we're moving to an area of Idaho, in southern Idaho, where it's kind of a valley. It's actually called the Treasure Valley. And it consists of several cities in the Treasure Valley. But again, it's kind of in a depression where things get kind of stuck. And smoke is definitely one of them. When I was out there a few weeks ago for my son's pre-drywall inspection, there were already a lot of fires kind of starting and moving through Oregon and just starting in Idaho and Washington. And even then, it was so smoky one of the days. I mean, we had to really alter our activities and everything. So I have actually been doing quite a bit of research to see how often this happens, how this area is affected, and how it's going to impact our quality of life moving there. I mean, coming from Southern California, I can't say that we haven't had our fair share of smokes because of fires. I mean, our state's been burning for years. And many of these large fires that we've had, or even have been impacted by other states, have kind of come down through California, and we've experienced a lot of smoke at times. Now, I really don't want somebody watching this video to look at this terrible stretch of summer and think this is all of what happens in Idaho. It's not. There's a lot of the year that you are not experiencing these kinds of problems, obviously. And there's a lot of years you don't experience these kinds of problems. But when they happen, I think people have to make adjustments. They have to realize, I think, that we're living in a hotter climate. I mean, climate change is real. And if you don't see all the things happening in the world, it's not just, the northern states, it's Canada, it's all through the other states where they're having flooding and heat waves and smoke and wildfires, places they haven't really had them before. So this is a new way of living for a lot of people. I mean, we're going into a new time in the Earth's history, I believe, where we are experiencing the beginning of severe climate change. And in my opinion, it's only going to get worse. I don't see it getting better. So I'm thinking of ways that I can prepare and prep and have a better idea of what's going to happen in my own personal future, as well as my kids and grandkids. As I've said, it's not like California doesn't have its fair share of natural disasters. We have a host of disasters, wildfires being one of them. California has wildfires, Idaho has wildfires, Washington has wildfires, Oregon has wildfires. I think anywhere where you have areas where things can burn nowadays. You're going to have wildfires. It's just part of life. So my thought is there's a lot of positives for me about moving to Idaho. I'm not going to let this affect me, but I am going to have to make some very serious efforts to make sure that this affects me as little as possible. So the first thing that we need to do is monitor the AQI. That's very important. When the weather service and the government and whatever, they're issuing warnings and they're telling you it's unhealthy, it's unsafe, it's not safe to do outdoor activities. That's not the weekend we're going camping or playing all day outside at the river or what have you. Maybe that's a few days of indoor activities, or maybe that's a day you can get out of town or what have you. But I think it's very important that we monitor to see what's going on. I've also heard that the UV index is also very strong in Idaho. I don't really understand why. I haven't really researched that as much as I need to, but just having thoughts about all this air quality and that kind of thing, it makes me realize I'm also going to have to probably make sure that I'm always wearing sunscreen and I'm protected as much as I can. The second thing is that I want to make sure that I have a really good air filtration system in my home. So I'm actually looking into putting some kind of air filtration, whether it's air purifiers, what have you. I'm really going to start researching that before I get there. I want to have those things in place. I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to breathe comfortably in my home. I have had lung problems in the past, so I do have somewhat severe asthma when I get to higher elevations, so I always make sure that I have an inhaler with me, that kind of thing. So I'm going to have to be careful living in this kind of environment, just like I've had to be careful living in the environment I'm in. The next thing is I think I'm going to have to make sure to keep all my windows closed on bad air days, so that air filtration works. Now, my husband and I did invest when they were going through all the options that we could get for upgrades in our home. We did invest in having the double extra windows all throughout the whole house. We did it for noise, but we also did it for weather and that type of thing. So I do think that's going to make a difference as well. As I said, we're going to have to adjust for outdoor activities. We're going to have days that are going to be great days to hang out as a family. There's going to be other days where it's going to be great days to hang out as a family indoors. I think I'm also going to have to give some thought into exercise and the type of exercise that I do on bad air quality days. I don't want to be, gasping for breath while I'm trying to do exercise. It already somewhat taxes your lungs, especially when you're doing cardio. So I've been on a strength training program for the last year. I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday faithfully, and I also do cardio on those days. But I had thought about walking and biking and all kinds of things to add to my routine, which I think I'm still going to do it in Idaho. I'm just going to have to be more careful on days when I know it's unhealthy to be out doing those types of exercises. The other thing I really need to think about is I need to find out and learn the area. I know where I live here in California, but in Idaho, I need to learn the really good resources that are out there for good information about the wildfires. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that you just kind of wonder, where is this coming from? I need to find the reliable sources that I can count on. I am very excited about my new home. I think about it all the time. I'm here in this apartment and it's nice. It's a nice place to have as kind of a stopgap, and I'm close to the grandkids. I still live in the same area I was in before. It's kind of grown on me. I can see how people could get used to apartment living. It's got a lot of advantages. But I am excited about my new home. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to decorate. It's going to be a lot of fun to do things in the backyard. I'm planning on putting in a swimming pool. a much smaller one than I had in my last house, but still I'd like to have one. I love to swim. It's one of my favorite outdoor activities. I also want to put in a larger garden in this new house. So I'm going to be doing lots of videos on that because a big part of my life is gardening and the whole homesteading process. And just to give you a little sneak peek of what I'm going to be doing, in my new home, in my new garden, I'm going to be starting a drought-free, drought-resistant gardening called hugelkultur. Now, this is going to be a lot of interesting information. If you're not familiar with it, it might be something you'd get interested in the future. If not, you can just watch me work, but working for me is often a lot of fun. I'm also considering doing some refinishing of some furniture in my own home. I had actually tried out a little bit of refinishing of my master bedroom furniture. I just can't get rid of it. My grandpa had given me this when I was like 6 years old, this beautiful set, so I don't want to get rid of it. I'm taking it with me to Idaho, but I'm thinking about refinishing it. I had painted it before and done a little gel stain to it, but I think I'm going to be a little bit more daring and try to actually refinish it myself. And I also have a hutch of my mom's that I'm going to be working on. I kind of got this bug when I repainted all my kitchen and bathroom cupboards. I really enjoyed doing it, but more than that, I was so happy with the results of how everything came out that I realized this might be something fun I can do in my new house. So stay tuned for some of those videos. I'm looking forward to this new community. There's all kinds of things that just really fit my interests as far as gardening and farming and family type activities, outdoor activities, all kinds of things, which are just, I already know. I know myself. We all know ourselves, I guess. And if many of you have been watching me through the last few years, I'm somebody that is really pretty active. I love doing things outside. I love enjoying nature. I love homesteading. I love gardening. I love swimming. I love being with the family. I love going bye-bye. I have a lot of fun. Every day for me is like, where's my new fun? I mean, yesterday was a perfect day. I was with my family. There was like, I don't know how many of us, 10, 15 of us, something. And we all spent the day from like 10 in the morning till 7:30 at night at the beach, just boogie boarding and having fun in the water and eating and talking and visiting. And it was just a wonderful, perfect day, perfect weather. I really love the fact that I'm going to be so much closer to not just my family, but the interests in the things that I already love. And just my trips out there, I have enjoyed it so much. I just know that this is going to be a great place for me to live. And I'm hoping it's going to be just as wonderful for my family as well. If you ask me today, after seeing all these wildfires and smoke that are taking place, would I still be moving to Idaho? The answer would be yes. Does it make me take wildfires and smoke seriously? Absolutely. Does it mean we'll have to make adjustments? Most likely. But every place you live, there's going to be adjustments and things you're going to have to get used to, and things maybe you never get used to that you're just never going to like. And that's just part of being wherever you're planted in life. You either find the positive with your cup half full, or you find it with your negative with that cup half empty. Now, some places will make that cup go up and down more than others, but you have to find the place that you think will work best for you. So I'm going to be looking into these wildfires and researching to make sure that I can make it the safest and the best that I can as far as smoke and air quality. One good thing about the area that I'm moving to, because it's southern Idaho, we do have the smoke and things like that, but we don't have the big forests immediately around us. So that is a huge plus. And we have access to them, that we can drive to them and enjoy them, but our environment there is much different than when you're going to northern Idaho. So thanks for watching. Let's keep in touch. There's a lot going on. It's going to be an extremely busy month for me. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. There's going to be lots more fun things that we're watching and getting into and experiencing through the move, after the move, setting up the garden, setting up the house, setting up, my refinishing. And if those things are of interest to you, I think you might enjoy the channel. So give me a like or a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.